Hi guys, let me show you how you can recreate iconic Nina Park's makeup style. So I saw a lot of older videos and some of the recreations, and I was really inspired to recreate this. So let's begin with the Nina Park makeup. Here I'm going in and prepping my lips because they were crusty, and this is the Rhode lip balm in the shade Jelly Bean, and it's almost over. Now I hadn't done any skincare before this particular day, otherwise I always have some skincare on. So I refreshed my face with the Dalba First Spray serum, and I'm going to work that into my face really well. And then I'm going in with the Bobbi Brown Enriched First Base Serum. Like, it's the serum version of a face cream. I find it I really like it. I thought I would like it more since I'm oily and a serum would work better, but I find that I can use something a bit heavier as well under makeup if I want to. But nonetheless, this is a good one and I'm about to finish it. Also working that in really well into my face. You don't want your skincare to sit on top of your skin. You want to really massage it into your face. And then a lot of celebrity makeup artists these days are also really particular about facial massages. A lot of them focus on lymphatic drainage and all such things. Now, starting with the makeup, I'm going in with the Q-tip and micellar water, and I'm removing any moisturizer that I have on my eyebrows. This will make our eyebrow pencil stick to the skin better. Otherwise, the skin underneath the eyebrows usually is very oily. I'm using the Morphe Micro Brow, whatever it is called, I can't recall. But yeah, these are super fine, and I'm using the shade Latte, and I've been really liking it. I bought a lot of new Morphe launches from Nykaa recently, and like I went for a lighter shade. Usually, like, you don't want to match your hair shade, you want to be a little bit lighter because then it'll give you the illusion of fuller brows. Otherwise, if you have a darker brow shade, it'll look like clown eyebrows. So you want something lighter which can just act as a background shade. You can also use an eyeshadow for this, like an eyebrow pencil is not necessary. Going in with the Rare Beauty eyebrow gel, really removing product from the applicator, and like I have very little on there because if you use too much, this, like, for me this tends to go southwards very fast. So I like to have very little on the applicator and then work it in really fast, and after I'm happy with it, I don't disturb it a lot. Otherwise, it'll happen in this eyebrow. If I disturb it a lot, it ends up looking weird and I can't fix it. So if I do something wrong, I have to remove it and then reapply it. See, that middle stroke went a bit weird, and I don't know why I didn't fix it, and I just moved on because, like, who has the time? Going in with this Morphe bronzing pencil. I have the shade, don't remember. I think I have the shade Picturesque. I can't recall. I'll write the name. And I'm going in with the PAC T06 brush. It's the fluffier version of the T05, and it's good for cream products. And for Nina Park, you'll see her makeup shows lot of your skin. It's like natural skin but better. So that is what I'm doing. I'm beginning on the bare face and sculpting my face. And like, for a Korean makeup artist, I think she uses a lot of bronzer. I've never seen Korean makeup artists use a lot of bronzer to bronze the face. Usually they mainly contour their nose and all that, but I don't see a lot of Hollywood style bronzing. But I guess since she's a Hollywood makeup artist, that's what she does. And here I am cleaning out my brows for a slightly cleaner look. I think this look is very intentional. You place the product only where you want it to be seen, and so like you look, it's a very elevated kind of a clean girl makeup look, to be honest. So yeah, she uses a lot of bronzer, and I'm going a lot of people start with the foundation, but I found like foundation was not necessary for this look, so this is a no foundation look. But yeah, a lot of bronzer look. Here I am bronzing my eyes, like not bronzing my eyes, I'm creating a shadow. I'm placing it where I have the bones, and now I have crows on my balcony and you can hear them. Also contouring the lips, but I ended up applying concealer here and it got covered, so yeah, pointless. But yeah, basically you have to sculpt wherever you usually sculpt, and like you don't have to use a contour shade, just don't go too warm. A nice bronze shade, like which look like healthy skin. Here I am using this Morphe brush. This is also a new one, and I later realized that I didn't blend properly, so I then go back and blend things again. But yeah, focusing on creating some structure for my face and making it look sculpted. And my hair is so annoying. Why is it on my face all the time? Like, I also tried to do my hair for this one, and I think like when you do your hair, the makeup looks like 10 times better, but I don't always have the time for that. Going in with the fluffy eyeshadow brush for the eyes and the nose. You can always use your hands for all of this. Like, using a brush is not necessary, especially when you're working on bare skin. Your hands are like the best tools because they really melt the product into your skin. But like, don't rub too hard or you'll remove the product. Then I'm going in with the Westman Atelier concealer. Since it's a clean girl look, like you have to have a healthy skin kind of a look, and so I'm just fixing my discoloration. And since I stretched my skin, I could see that the jawline contour was just sitting there. And I bought this brush from Mr. DIY, and it's like a 150 rupee brush, but it's so good at applying base products, and like it stretches this Westman Atelier concealer so well. I love using these two together. Like, this is the dupe of those 10,000 artist brushes that was so viral back in like 2012, I guess. So yeah, I'm just fixing my discoloration. This look, like usually she Nina Park, she doesn't even color correct, like she doesn't even conceal the under eye bags of the artist. So like, she uses dark circles as an accessory. She uses it to enhance the vibe of the look that you're going for. So I'm not focusing on fixing, I'm just focusing on like getting the most healthy looking skin version of me, which is not going to be super full coverage. Then I'm going in with this Dior Forever, it is the highlighter. I don't remember names of any products, I'm so sorry. Yeah, so but this one is slightly dangerous, so if you are using this on top of foundation, I would caution you against it. But here I'm using it on my bare skin, and I'm taking it on my hand and then tapping it onto my skin. That's the best way. I used it for someone on their engagement makeup, and I used it on top of foundation, and oh my god, it lifted the foundation so bad. I had to like panic fix everything. So yeah, don't try it on top of foundation the first time you try it. It works best on dry skin. But a good thing about this one is that it sets down, doesn't move after application, and gives a really nice glow. It's the shade is Nude Glow that I have, placing wherever I would have shine, like on my high points. Then I'm going in with some concealer for my under eyes. I really like to conceal the inner corner darkness. That opens up the eyes a lot and like works really good with eyeshadow as well. So then I'm taking, I think this is the PAC T05. These brushes are amazing. The PAC T line is like simply spectacular. I would buy all of them if I could. I think I have 5-6 of them, and I think they have 7, 8 or 10 or something, and I think I need all of them. They are very good. So just tapping it on, and I'm using the Tower 28 concealer, and that is a very medium coverage kind of a concealer. It's not very full coverage, so it looks very natural. And here is the funny part. So I used this Makeup by Mario eyeshadow, cream eyeshadow in the shade Chestnut, and by the end of the makeup look I had actually forgotten that I had used the cream shadow as a base, and I was setting my eyes because like it's such a skin tone like shade that I actually forgot that I had applied it. Like the whole thing was so natural makeup coded that I forgot that I had product on my face. Cleaning my lash line and everything with micellar water, because I'm going to apply kajal. If you have oils there, then the kajal tends to transfer a lot. So now this is the best part of her makeup look. The way she does eyes, she really likes to get into the lash line, and the lash line is like your lash lines where your lashes are growing out from your skin, and not the waterline, not the upper waterline, the lash line. There is a difference, and I had to learn it the hard way. Also applying a little bit on my, like where I would apply on my lid, and just slightly enhancing it. She does such a nice micro wing kind of a thing, and it looks like your eyes but enhanced. Like your eyes, she like your lash line has been darkened, your lashes look thicker, and then she goes in with a Q-tip. You don't even need a brush for this, and just gently blend this wing, smoke it out and pull it out. And I'm sorry for my hand, my camera decided to focus on my hand. Just gently extending it, not a lot. We are going to build it slowly. The key to a polished looking makeup look always is building it slowly and not just going ham at the start. If you apply a lot at the start, then you'll have a full on wing, and that's not what we want. So removing the product from my waterline so that I don't have a lot there, and if anything transferred, now you can see the back, and like you can see the before and after. Just looks like I have really thick lashes. See, this is the lash line, this is the lash line, and this is the waterline. You don't want to put it on the waterline, put it on the lash line. I'll show you in a picture. Yeah, and now for the wing part, I sharpened my pencil. I never sharpen my pencil, but I sharpened my pencil because we need a tiny wing. See, such a tiny wing, and I'm taking it downwards in a very Asian makeup style technique. They love their downward wing. It actually looks like your eyes are longer. It gives your eyes a elongated appearance. So I'm doing that on both the sides. I finished the other side, and I'm sorry I can never get my wings even, but I'm trying my best here. My eye shapes are not the same, so it doesn't work the same way, and my hand also doesn't like to work with my left side. And now finally I'm taking it in the inner corner. I'm taking the kajal in the inner corner, and you can see I squinted so much that I developed my forehead wrinkles had a hard time. Yeah, cleaning it and now setting it. I bought this Revolution palette at such an amazing deal. I think I got 2 eyeshadow palettes for some 1200 rupees, which is insane. And these palettes are actually really good. This is like they are dupes of a lot of famous palettes, and this is like the Patrick Ta Volume 3 at an affordable version. And I think you'd be better off with Revolution because Patrick Ta 1 goes bad really fast. It's a clean beauty formula, it catches mold and everything. So Revolution for the win for this one. And I really like the formula. It's a little bit powdery, but that means pigment. Now I'm setting the wing with some black eyeshadow and then brown eyeshadow on top to soften it, because we don't want a harsh wing. We wanted to look like eyes that were drawn by an artist, like when you outline something with a marker, just gentle outlining. I hope that makes sense. So yeah, these are the eyes done. See, she doesn't have anything on the under lash line, like the lower waterline, whatever that is called. Deciding on blush, I went in with this Fee pot whatever these super viral pots, and I think the shade is, again I forgotten, and I have no product on my face, and this clung to my hairy face so bad. I spent some 10 minutes just trying to make it look less patchy, and I applied it with my hand. Imagine if I had gone with a brush, it would have been better, but then I tried to fix it with brushes. It's such a nice shade, it looks amazing on the skin. The shade is perfect for that natural winter flush kind of a thing, but it was very difficult to blend, to be honest, and it didn't look nice on my lips. So, but yeah, serves me right, because I saw it on a influencer who is not my skin shade. So yeah, it looked amazing on her. It looked very red on her and looks very pink on me. Color theory, I guess. Applying some on the nose, some on the chin. I never applied blush on the chin, but I did. It's supposed to give your skin that, ethereal kind of a look. And cleaning the under lash line, lower lash line, and applying concealer to clean out the wing so that it looks slightly sharper and bright. Like, little things make the makeup look so good. And like, see the texture just sat on my face, this blush. And she does lips really well, and I had really bad footage of myself doing the lips, so I went in with the Merit lip liner and the Violet FR lipstick in Châtain Grillade, my favorite. And then I put some white eyeshadow in my inner corner, skin shade eyeshadow in my inner corner to make it pop and look little bit brighter. And I also set my lid so that the kajal doesn't transfer, and now I'm using the RMS Beauty blush in the shade Maiden something, and it's a bronzer kind of a shade, so I'm using that as a blush topper and also a bronzer, and like melting everything together, mixing everything so that it looks uniform, and trying to clean the blush again. But yeah, my skin is really patchy, and my blush never sits right on my face because it's very hairy. That is the real truth of it, and there's nothing we can do. Going in with the MAC powder foundation, what is it called again? Yeah, setting my under eyes and the areas where I have a lot of pores. Nina Park also uses a lot of Korean beauty products. I don't have her products, but yeah, she also uses a lot of Armani, and like, celebrities have contracts with the brands, and so that. But yeah, she does makeup for Margaret, what is her name, and Scarlett Johansson, and she's really into curl lashes. She says she never leaves the house without curling her lashes and applying mascara, and she uses Clio. So I had this one from Clio, and it's such a nice one. And then finally, extending my eyes inwards even more. It's like I'm outlining my face. Added a deeper brick shade for that Korean lip look. Like, I added it in the center and blotted it out. And then she also makes a lot of faux freckles for that natural sunskin kissed look. So for this time I used the eyebrow pencil. This is the darker shade of my eyebrow pencil, and like, use it everywhere. You can use it all on your face. I also redid my beauty marks. It looks natural. Finally finishing off my hair, and I was really impressed with how the makeup look turned out. It looked so good. I couldn't stop looking at myself, to be honest. It looks so good. I was so happy, and since I'd done my hair, it looks like I was chuffed about it, to be honest. So yeah, that's the finished look. Hope you guys liked it, and hope you guys liked my weird explanation of how makeup technique. And I'm super sick, and now my nose is not allowing me to breathe. So I hope you like this one. Please subscribe to my channel. Bye. I'll see you in the next one. So this is a close-up of the finished look, and I think the blush looked bit better after the setting spray. What do you think?